Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Leader of the Opposition for his question. Mr. Speaker, as we said at that time, and the former Minister for Agriculture, there was a relook at the support, the status of the dairy industry by the ministry as part of the budget preparation 2024-2025 and also assessment during the 2025-2026 budget. But this is a very good question from the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Speaker, for two reasons. One, I think there is a history, and the Honourable Leader of the Opposition knows this very well. The dairy industry has been on a decline. Production has remained low, input costs remain high, farm level productivity has been declining, and our dairy supply continued to fall short, meeting only 20 to 25% of national liquid milk demand, with the rest met through imports. Let me just remind honourable members of this House and honourable Leader of the Opposition that the dairy industry decline, significant decline, started in 2012 with the restructure of the previous Rewa Dairy, and government argued, about its debt, but that was one issue. It was sold to Fiji Dairy Limited, the Southern Cross Food Limited, a private entity owned by C.J. Patel, and as part of that agreement, the company was granted duty, fiscal and import excise duty on full cream powdered milk, liquid milk, butter, yogurt, cheese for a 10-year period. And the rationale, we can argue until the sunset, until the cows come home, Mr. Speaker, with respect to why it was done. But the protection that was given to that company, the intention of any import substitution strategy with protection, and in this case it was 32% duty protection, is to ensure that you raise local production. Any kind of protection for any industry is designed to raise local production. And this is what happened. Rewa Dairy was sold to this private company. This private company was given 32% duty protection, which meant, Mr. Speaker, in layman's language, that this company had exclusive right with zero duty to import and bring milk product, as I highlighted, to Fiji, compared to those who wanted to also import. They would have had to pay 32% duty. On top of that, there was no price control on the items or the price of milk, butter, etc., that they could charge as a result of the support that government was providing by protecting them. So it did two things. One, it raised the prices of everything, all milk products. And we were talking about butter prices recently. Honourable Maharaj talked about it, and then we were telling him, go and look at butter prices in New Zealand, and then talk about butter prices here. But that's what happened. The other requirement or the other intention of that protection was that this company, this private company, and they had said that they will set up chilling centers, they would promote, local dairy production and milk production, and therefore they were given that protection. But none of that happened, Mr. Speaker. What happened was that this company continued to enjoy, so they would bring powdered milk with zero duty, convert it into liquid milk, bring the butter slab, convert salt here, and because there was no price control, they would sell it at a price which would almost be equivalent to adding the 32% duty, as would be the case when others import. So that's what happened. So we ended up with price rises. We ended up not increasing the production of dairy. So what we saw, milk production in 2024 stood at 6.4 million compared to a total demand of 70 million litres, which includes 24 million litres of liquid milk imports. Out of 1,072 dairy farmers, only 264 registered dairy farmers supply the formal market via Fiji Dairy Limited, while 808 are operating in an informal subsistence scale. Interest in dairy farming has been coming down due to the low returns and farm gate price. And we raised these issues with the previous government about the price and the incentive that the government had to provide so that farmers would still be interested in producing milk. So since we came into government, Mr. Speaker, in answer to Honorable Leader of the Opposition, we have not only doubled the budget allocation for the Ministry of Agriculture and Waterways, but we've also provided additional funding to Fiji Dairy Cooperative Limited for milk cartage from farm gates to chillers, 18 cents per litre farm gate incentive, artificial breeding programs, recruitment of 2 extension officers and 1 veterinary officer, purchase of veterinary medicine, farmer training, infrastructure works on dairy farms. To ensure growth in dairy industry beyond the central division, we had increased the budget allocation for the dairy extension program from 300,000 in the 2022-2023 budget to 978,000 in the 25-26 budget, Mr. Speaker. So the funding focused on supporting small-scale farmers producing less than 50 litres per day to scale, expanding the brown Swiss breed through artificial insemination, piloting ghee production in Bua, first for the local industry, and we are also providing additional funding for lease renewal, etc. Last year, Mr. Speaker, for example, and some of them were dairy farm leases, government provided 1.2 million to clear lease areas for 218 farmers, enabling the issuance of 50-year agriculture leases through the Itoke Land Trust Board. So that's the initiative that this government had taken with respect to lease renewal. In the current budget, we have introduced a lease premium subsidy of 1 million, covering 30% of lease renewal premium for farmers, leaseholders, and the Honourable Minister for Itoke Affairs the other day talked about lease renewals for the dairy sector. And to entice new commercial agriculture ventures into the dairy industry, government will continue to offer tiered structured tax exemptions for capital investments above 100,000. In addition, specialized dairy machineries are also eligible for duty concessions, free fiscal and free import excise duty. This is in addition to the tax-free region, Mr. Speaker, which covers all sectors and most of the formal dairy supplying areas in the central division. So just to add, Mr. Speaker, the structure, just like the sugar industry, we've had a very, very difficult downward spiral in the production of milk and in the interest of dairy farmers to continue in that industry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.